Hey, so we all know that big American dream thing, the one about getting a good job, buying a nice house, and moving up in the world? Well, for most people today, that dream is kind of a joke. It's like they promised us a white picket fence, but instead, we got a tiny apartment with 4 roommates, and the starter home we can afford has emotional trauma and probably black mold. When you look at the major cities, the math just doesn't work out. Take San Francisco. The average home costs an insane $1.4 million, but the average person only makes about $96,000 a year. You would basically have to work for 14 years and not spend a single dollar just to save for a down payment there. That's not a dream. That's a punishment. The good news is that the dream didn't actually die. It just got fed up and moved to smarter places. Like an ex who changed their phone number, the financial dream left the big cities and went somewhere no trendy influencer would bother to post about. The best places to live now are those that offer margin, meaning you have money left over after paying bills, and great livability, instead of just a lot of hype. To figure out where the dream is hiding, we look at 4 simple things. 1. How good life feels there, quality of life. 2. How easily you can afford to live there, value index. 3. How strong the job market is. 4. How many people actually want to move there, desirability. The places that score high on these facts offer the real luxury today, financial security. They let you build up savings, buy a home, and start a family without the constant crushing stress of massive debt. Here are the 15 cities where the American dream is still alive and well, counting down to the number 1 spot. 15. Amarillo, Texas. Let's kick off the list with number 15. Amarillo is a city on the plains that gives you a lot of bang for your buck. Homes here are pretty affordable, costing about $196,500. Incomes are decent, around $63,000, meaning people here don't have crazy big mortgage bills compared to other places. The job scene is stable, built on farming, energy, and education from places like West Texas A and M University. Even better, major crimes like robbery have dropped in recent years, so the community is getting safer. 14. Brownsville, Texas. Number 14 is Brownsville, way down on the southern tip of Texas. This place is changing fast and is incredibly cheap for buying a house. The average home value is around $150,000. That's less than half the national average price. The mayor says the city is ready for its future, and it was recently ranked the number 1 U.S. metro area for investment. The local economy saw a strong 4.2% job growth recently. Like other Texas border cities, Brownsville also has relatively low violent crime rate. 13. Kalamazoo, Michigan. Coming in at lucky 13 is Kalamazoo, Michigan. On average, especially for a larger family, a home here costs about half the national average, around $236,000. This small city offers big chances. Residents are proud of the community feel, and they even have a famous scholarship program called the Kalamazoo Promise, which helps students go to college. 12. El Paso, Texas. Number 12 is El Paso, Texas. If you want a cheap place to live, this city is number 1 in the country for housing affordability. Here is how crazy affordable it is. Only about 20% of the average person's income goes toward housing costs. Homes cost only about $228,000. El Paso is one of America's safest large cities, with extremely low crime rates. Jobs are steady because of the huge army base, Fort Bliss, and the busy trade happening with Mexico. 11. San Bernardino, California. At 11, we land in San Bernardino, California. Okay, it's still California, but homes are way cheaper than on the coast. Around $385,000. Wages are rising, and the job market is slowly getting better with new manufacturing and logistics projects moving in. The best part? The police reported that violent crime fell sharply in 2024, and murders dropped by about 33%. People here feel the American dream is finally possible because of the more affordable homes and new jobs. 10. Marfa, Texas. Jumping back to the first group, number 10 is Marfa, Texas. This is a small, super remote town, famous for its weird art and empty desert view. It's affordable because it is far away from everyone. Homes cost around $303,000, and rent is relatively low, about $750 to $900. You save money instantly because Texas has no state income tax. It's a great spot for artists who want actually to own property and enjoy immense quiet. 9. Ypsilanti, Michigan. At number 9, we find Ypsilanti, Michigan, often referred to as Ypsi. It's just 6 miles from the expensive college town of Ann Arbor, but it's much cheaper for working people. A home here costs a low $283,000. And the cost of living is 14% below the national average. Ypsi is known for being unique, artistic, and having a bit of a weird identity. It's the kind of place where you can easily pay your rent and still have money left over for good food and fun. 8. Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Number 8 is Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where old world charm and modern ambition somehow coexist on the same street. It's the kind of place where you'll see an Amish buggy roll past a co-working space and no one blinks an eye. Homes average around $340,000. And the cost of living is 10% below the national average, making it one of the few East Coast spots where you can still build a life without building debt. Lancaster's location is unbeatable, close to Philadelphia and DC, but without their price tags or traffic headaches. Add in a surprisingly vibrant art scene and one of America's oldest farmers markets, and you've got a city that proves progress and tradition can actually get along. 7. Fayetteville, Arkansas. Coming in at number 7, Fayetteville, Arkansas is the perfect mix of small-town warmth and big-time opportunity. Tucked in the scenic Ozark Mountains, it's a college town that hasn't lost its soul to high prices or overcrowding. Homes average around $370,000. And the unemployment rate is a tiny 2.3%, thanks to nearby giants like Walmart and Tyson Foods. The city's job growth is booming, the vibe is youthful, and nature is never more than a few minutes away. Locals like to say Fayetteville feels like Austin before the hype and the $4,000 rent, and honestly, they're right. 6. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Number 6 is Sioux Falls, South Dakota, a city that knows how to treat your wallet right. The biggest financial win here? Zero state income tax. That's an instant raise without any awkward salary negotiations. Homes cost around $330,000, and the cost of living is 11% below the national average. So your paycheck actually stretches. The job market is rock solid, driven by finance and healthcare, and the city itself is clean, safe, and built for everyday comfort. Sioux Falls proves that practicality doesn't have to mean boring. It's where financial sense meets genuine peace of mind. 5. Chattanooga, Tennessee. We're officially in the top 5, and Chattanooga, Tennessee easily earns its spot. Known as Gig City for having the fastest internet in the Western Hemisphere, up to 10 gigs per second. It's a dream for remote workers who want Silicon Valley speeds without Silicon Valley rent. The average home costs around $320,000. The unemployment rate sits at just 2.9%. And the cost of living is 10% below the national average. Chattanooga's downtown hums with energy, packed with restaurants, art, and music, while the surrounding mountains offer weekend escapes just minutes away. It's one of the few cities where you can build a career, own a home, and still have time to enjoy the view. 4. Missoula, Montana. Number 4 is Missoula, Montana, a college town tucked into a breathtaking mountain valley where life feels balanced again. Sure, homes average around $559,000, which sounds high until you compare it to Colorado's jaw-dropping prices. Here, that figure actually buys space, peace, and clean air. Missoula's appeal isn't just in its scenery, it's in the mindset. People value happiness over hustle, and it shows in how the community lives. Trails, rivers, and mountain views are all just 15 minutes from downtown, making it easy to swap work stress for fresh air and quiet skies. Add in a steady job market and a close-knit, welcoming atmosphere, and you've got a place where balance isn't a luxury, it's the local culture. 3. Peoria, Illinois. Our bronze medal winner is Peoria, Illinois, the city that quietly proves you don't need a trust fund to live well. It's solid, sensible, and refreshingly drama-free. Exactly what a worn-out generation could use right now. You can actually buy a 3-bedroom home for about $128,000, which is less than the down payment on a shoebox in Los Angeles. The cost of living sits 22% below the national average, so your paycheck actually stretches instead of gasping for air. Peoria's economy runs on real industries, healthcare, logistics, and manufacturing, not just vibes and venture capital. And the best part? The average commute is only 18 minutes, which means less time staring at brake lights and more time actually living your life. 2. Waterbury, Connecticut. The silver medal goes to Waterbury, Connecticut, the ultimate cheat code for living in New England without auctioning your organs to pay rent. A decent home here goes for around $272,000, which in this region basically translates to free with a hug. It's wild. Considering that same amount in Boston or Brooklyn might get you a glorified broom closet with exposed brick. Waterbury sits perfectly between New York City and Boston, so you can commute, chase opportunities, and still return to an actual home, not a storage unit pretending to be one. It's a rare corner of New England where the American dream didn't pack up and move to Florida. 1. Toledo, Ohio. And the #1 city for the American dream is Toledo, Ohio. This city offers one of the cheapest ways to buy a home in America. The median home price is an unbelievable $127,000, and rent is only around $850. The cost of living is deeply discounted, sitting 20 to 25% below the national average. This provides enormous financial room to breathe, meaning your average mortgage payment could be under $800. The economy is stable with jobs in healthcare and manufacturing. Toledo gives you the chance to pay off debt, build savings, and finally start living your life. So here's the thing you have to understand. The dream is done trying to be cool. It stopped chasing status symbols, that big fancy house that costs $1 million and keeps you broke forever. The new definition of success is super simple. It's having margin. It's finding a place where you can actually afford your life. The real luxury isn't a sports car or a crazy vacation. It is security. It is knowing your neighbors, having a yard, and most importantly, not panicking when you open your bank app. These towns aren't screaming for attention. They are just quietly winning. But what if we've been looking in the wrong direction for everything else too? What if the most important goals in our lives, happiness, connection, peace, are also hiding in plain sight, just waiting for us to stop chasing the hype and start choosing the simple life? If the American dream has moved, what else needs a change of address in your life right now? Think about it.